Hello everyone, my name is Erin and I am currently the chair of the Southern Branch of the Irish Patchwork Society. In 2015 we decided to start a Block of the Month project, and I designed and sewed together the quilt and all of the blocks for that. We didn't have a slideshow presentation for all of the blocks, so as a project over the summer I am going back and creating these little slideshow presentations on how to put together the blocks of the Block of the Month of 2015. And so this slideshow presentation is going to be out of October 2015's block, and that is the Dresden Plate. So here is the block that we're going to make. And the cutting instructions for this: you're going to need one 12.5 by 12.5 inch square from background fabric, and in our example that's going to be a white fabric. Then you're going to cut 20 Dresden Plate blades, and these can be cut from scraps, at least that are 4 inches tall. Two pieces of the you're also going to need 2 pieces of fabric for the center circle, at least 5 inches square, and I decided to make this white background fabric as well. So there are 2 ways that you can cut the blades. You can use a specialty ruler like the Easy Dresden, which is what I use to cut my blades, because I just happen to have the ruler. Or you can find the template that I created for the block and tape it onto a ruler you currently own already. You're going to find the template at this website here. You can also find it on the Block of the Month tab for the 2015 year. It will be with the downloadable materials that you can find on our website there. And you're going to print that out and tape that onto your ruler. And the blade that I used to make this Dresden Plate is the 4-inch blade. So if you're interested in making a Dresden that is a different size than a 12.5 inch square, you can refer to the chart in the Block of the Month instructions for your suggested blade sizes. You can make your own template for the blade. You'll just need to refer to the Pinterest board. I've pinned at least one tutorial on how to create your own Dresden blade, Dresden blade template that, in the size that you want. So check that out. And then this is just a little more information about using your own ruler. When you download that template, you're going to want to print 2 sizes, or two templates of it, because you're going to need to get those 2 angles of the blade. When you print that out, there's a square that's with the template. There's this blade template that you see here, but there's also a 1-inch square. And when you print that out, you need to ensure that that is 1 inch big when you print it out. Again, you're going to need to ensure that the opposite sides of the blade are represented on your ruler. And then you line up your template with each 4-inch tall piece of fabric, and you can cut your blades that way. So if you just have that 4-inch strip and you flip whichever template you need at that point to get the edge that you need, that's how you do that. So once you have all of the blades cut out, you're going to take each individual blade, and using a 1/4 inch seam, fold the blade in half with right sides together and sew the wide end. And you're going to make sure to backstitch at the beginning and at the end of your seam. Before you press that open, you're going to trim the corner near the fold. And then using a point turner, chopstick, or other tool, you're going to turn your blade right side out. Next, you're going to lay out the blades in a pleasing arrangement. A tip that I've kind of heard is to try and have like colors opposite each other in the circle. But you'll notice that with mine, I didn't quite get that 100%, but I thought that this looked nice, and so I decided to do that. And then working in pairs from that layout, you're going to begin sewing your blades together. And it's more important to line up the top of the blade than the bottom, because the bottom is going to be covered up by that circle. Once you sew your pairs, you're going to press the seams open and then sew those into groups of 4 and then all together. Again, you can either press your seams open or to one side. It's important to just remain consistent. The next step for this block is to make a circle applique. And you're going to find a round object with a diameter that covers the center of your Dresden plate. And then you're going to want to make sure that that includes the seam allowance as well. And then once you have an object, it could be a glass or a wine glass or a cup or something, but just something big enough to cover that center circle, you're going to trace that circle on a double layer of fabric. Once you do that, you're going to cut out those circles and sew 1/4 inch around that circle, making sure to go all the way around. You don't leave any place open for turning. Once you do that, you're going to clip your curves, and this makes it easier to turn the circle right side out. Then you're going to separate the double layer and make a cut big enough to turn your circle inside out. So you're going to turn it right side out and then press it really well. Once you do that, you're going to layer your circle on the Dresden and pin, and then using the stitch of choice, you're going to applique that circle to the Dresden plate. And I personally use just the straight stitch on my machine. You could hand applique this on, or another stitch that you prefer. Next, you're going to take that background square that's 12.5 inches large and fold it in half both ways and press. And this gives you kind of a crosshair to guide the placement of the Dresden plate. Then you're going to line up those folded intersections with the seam lines of your Dresden plate and pin it on. And then using your stitch of choice, you're going to sew your plate onto the background square. And then she'll be finished with your Dresden plate. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at corkips@gmail.com, and you can find the website with all of the downloadable materials, the links to our YouTube channel and our Pinterest board at www.ips.cork.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month.